will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Cantina Club. We're going to do a reaction video this time for the latest. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yo, not yet. Hold on. Wait.
Okay.
Okay.
He's not reacting yet.
So we're gonna do the new Andor trailer, or new-ish, new to us. It came out about a week ago, so it's the latest and I believe the final Andor trailer. It must be the final because I know the show's coming out in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So anyway, we're gonna actually jump into that and see what we think. Everybody queued up and ready to go, guys?
Yes.
Wait, let me bring it up here.
Okay.
Yes, I have a spinning disc. Hopefully it'll play, but I hit play.
Hopefully
I think it'll play. Yeah.
Okay.
I have
All
faith.
right. On 3, 2, 1, play.
Engage.
I came with you to be part of something.
Nice.
The classic klaxon.
That never fails.
Yeah.
I cannot win.
Did you come here to watch
We're getting
this
all these settings. They're showing all the settings
Yeah.
of everything.
If it goes up in flames, it will burn very brightly.
I'm giving up everything. I want to win.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, that's cool. I'm glad she's back.
Hasn't this poor girl been through enough?
Right.
Be crushed.
Resistance is absurd.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It looks like they de-aged Krennic.
Yeah.
The monster will come for us all.
Oh.
She's being choked.
Yeah, it looks like she's getting force choked.
Or she's remembering being choked.
Right, right.
For those who dare.
Wow.
Welcome to the rebellion.
Oh, wow. Okay. Very
That
good.
was full of big noises.
Yeah, it's with the klaxon
the,
blaring
the
in the background.
drums and yeah.
Yep. All
That's
right.
good.
What was that ship he was in at the end? I couldn't. It
It
went
looked
too
like a
fast.
TIE interceptor.
Was it a tie?
It's
Okay.
TIE fighter.
Yeah, it was a
of
TIE
some
interceptor,
kind.
it looked like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something along that line.
I speculate that is an actual that they're borrowing possibly from the Rebels storyline that's going to be a
Yeah. Like a
that's
little
going to be
ball.
an experimental TIE fighter that would have
Oh, right. Like
they
they had a
would have
ball.
changed
Yeah.
the war if they developed it. He probably steals it.
Yeah.
Because it looks like at least one of the episodes he's flying that thing around, just mowing stuff down with it. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like an ultimate weapon type thing, and he's stealing it. That's just my guess.
Okay, yeah, that's legit.
Because that does not look like a TIE interceptor. It's a super interceptor. It's like I'm freezing.
No, it
from
did.
on that.
It did look like it was
Yeah.
bigger than the standard TIE fighter.
Yeah, it looks like a combination bomber interceptor or something.
Yeah.
Kind of like Kylo Ren's ship almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. but
So,
Kylo Ren's
Who
fighter.
was being force choked? I missed that.
Oh,
Uh,
I don't remember her name. She's
the female Imperial.
the female Imperial
Oh,
officer from the
Deidre?
first season. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's her.
Yeah.
I can't swear that she's being force choked. She
No,
might be
you like
having
she's
a
kinda pulling
nervous
at her neck,
breakdown.
you know? Yeah,
Or she
exactly.
might
She's
be-
been, oh, I'm freaking out. Yeah.
My husband and I have been rewatching the first season this past week, and there were scenes where she was in a tough spot where she was like working
Like
with
doing
her
like
high
this.
collar.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And maybe it was
her,
something. Maybe
her
that's just
collar, everything
that's a
about
character
her.
trait that maybe she has then.
Yeah, her
Yep.
face, her costumes, everything was just so uptight. It's just like, and she kept like she was strangling. So maybe it's something like that.
Yeah, could just be something like that then. And they maybe put it, they cut it that way to make people think that,
Yeah,
oh, Vader's
yeah.
in there because she's
Oh,
getting force
yeah.
choked, you know? Yeah.
That's me.
I gotta say that the Imperials are so smug. Like Krennic is the
Oh,
ultimate
yeah.
example of that. Just he looks so smug in this trailer, and then you've got his underlings who are working on being smug. You know, that's what they want to
Smug
be.
in
And
training.
yeah, smug in training. They look a little more rattled than him, but of course, you know, he's smug
Yeah.
no matter what.
Exactly.
I really hope he doesn't lose any of his smugness, because that was one of the great things about Rogue One.
Oh,
is
yeah,
he was just
absolutely.
like over the top, and when he broke, it made it
It
spectacular.
made it even better. Yeah,
Yeah, so I hope they don't backtrack any on that now.
absolutely.
But
Yeah.
yeah, because they've got enough complexity, with all the other Imperial characters that they've been developing. I've just been so impressed. This is my third time to rewatch the first season, and I'm so impressed by how good the performances are. Even the tiny side characters are just like grab your attention. They have some wonderful performers, and some of the writing is really good too. But I really love the leads performing the different Imperial and Company roles. That they were all impressive, and the ones in the rebellion sometimes didn't get as much time as the Imperial people until you get to the high sequence. And we've only made it through the high sequence. We haven't gotten to the last half of the first season yet, so we're looking forward to
Yeah,
that.
I'm
But we've
planning to
got
rewatch
what,
that
2 weeks?
probably starting this weekend. Yeah,
Yeah.
April 22nd, so 3 weeks from today, basically.
Okay.
3 weeks from today, because it's on a Tuesday.
There's
But
a
I
shot.
I
Oh, go
confirmed
ahead.
what you were sorry, Greedo. I
No, that's
confirmed
okay.
what you said last time, that yeah, they're releasing them in 3 episode chunks. Like every week you get 3 more episodes. So that's really cool. I like that they're doing that.
Yeah,
That
I
is
think they're
good.
supposed to be like mini movies.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's a shot in here that's really quick, and it's all the Saul Guerrera's rebels from Rogue One, a bunch of them, like the same
Oh, okay.
costume and
The
everything.
same the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
characters
the
basically.
big like white Yeti looking guy
Hmm.
with the long fur, and then the two tubes
Yeah, I
guy,
saw that in there. I was like,
and
why is a Wampa in the scene?
yeah, and it's all those same characters from Rogue One.
Hmm.
There's a ship from the Clone Wars behind them,
Oh, okay.
like a Republic ship behind them.
I'm surprised
They're on
that
some
didn't catch my attention.
planet.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, I had to freeze it to even look at the backgrounds, but
Hmm.
but um but yeah, pretty interesting.
Yeah,
And
very much so. I enjoyed the trailer.
So what's her name? Dira or Deidre or
Deidre.
Deidre.
Deidre?
Mhm.
She
Yep.
definitely looks very distressed in this
Oh,
when you
extremely.
freeze it,
Yeah.
where she's grabbing her throat and she is
Hmm.
looking at something ahead of her. So I don't know if she's remembering something, or God only knows what these Imperials do to each other.
Yeah, exactly.
When their idea of when they're taking like the sounds of dying children and playing them to people to
Oh
drive them
yeah.
insane or whatever.
Yeah,
Oh my
It's
exactly.
like, or
God.
the weeping of the people over their dead children or something, whatever the heck that was that that crazy guy did to that girl in the first season. It's
That was
like,
awful. Yeah, that was
it was
hideous
beyond
torture. Yeah.
sick. Yeah. And he just took so much enjoyment in it. It's like,
Yeah, exactly. Wow. All
yeah.
right. So, any other thoughts, Gundark?
It looked more intense than the previous trailer. I guess like emotionally intense. The other one was more action oriented, it seemed, but
Yeah,
yeah,
this
those,
one is more about the characters and their settings. And
yeah,
Yeah.
there's also a shot in here that looks like they're going to follow through with that marriage storyline for
yeah,
Mon Mothma's daughter.
Yeah.
There's somebody wearing a wedding
That
dress in here.
party
mm-hmm,
that they, in the other trailer, the
Yeah,
party with people were dancing. Yeah, that could be the
mm-hmm,
reception. Yep.
yeah.
and
Poor
that's
Mon Mothma.
yeah.
Poor, poor
And
stupid daughter.
I think my favorite shot is if that is K2SO knocking the crap out of that Imperial. That was
Yeah, I'm
pretty
sure
cool.
it is. Yeah.
And the room full of K2SOs.
Right. Yeah, they all turn
That's
their
pretty
heads.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
that was neat.
The show could definitely do with a little intentional humor.
Oh, yeah, yeah, agreed.
Saw is always good for some unintentional or intentional humor. The character himself, but
No, I forgot. Did we predict that there was going to be a Borgullet?
Oh.
oh
We,
yeah,
we,
we should ask the Borgullet just that
We
question.
need to ask
yeah,
the
are you going to be in
Borgullet.
this
Have you been
season
have you been
2?
contacted? Yeah, where did you
Exactly.
go for filming? Because we haven't even opened his door and looked down in his pit to see if he's down there. He could have slithered out.
Borgullet, will you be in?
Exactly.
I have a
Season 2
feeling
Andor.
he'll be cagey about it.
Oh yeah, if you can even wake him up, he's been asleep for like 3 years.
He knows the truth, but he doesn't always tell it.
Exactly. And sometimes he sleeps through it. So
I'm wondering too, like, um, what is now canon for Mon Mothma's character? Like, is this? We saw her in Jedi, so we know she makes it that far at
right,
least.
Mhm.
right.
And I don't think she appeared in the sequel trilogy at all, did she?
No, not that I
No.
recall. No.
So I'm just so she's gonna live at least. But when I look at this trailer and all the people they focus on, it's almost like all these people could die.
Right.
But
Cannon,
are they
cannon
going? Or
fodder.
by the
Yeah.
time, if you watch it through to Rogue One, which they say this is going to lead you right to Rogue One, so you
Mhm.
can watch Rogue One as the sequel. Pretty much everyone dies. Krennic, Saw Gerrera, Cassian, K2SO. Like, so she might be one of the only ones. Now they may let some of the cast, you know, live. Some of the
Right.
sub characters and all that, whatever you want to call it, more minor characters, but
Yeah, it was I think Diego Luna mentioned that in an interview recently, saying, yeah, this literally leads you right up to the beginning of Rogue One, the end of the
yeah.
season 2. So I wonder if it's like directly connected, almost like the end of Rogue One would be to the original Star Wars movie, because it literally like leaves off right as the chase begins.
We also kind of assume that this is following his development into a heroic character. This could be following his development into a bad guy
It could be,
because
yeah, that would be interesting.
he was more of an
He
anti-hero
was
at the
very
beginning.
cynical in the movie.
And
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
he said we've all done horrible
Yeah.
things and we have to atone, and all those guys stood there knowing they were going to die and that
yeah,
they deserved it, kind of. So we may not get any kind of heroic arc for him. He may sacrifice his friends. He may do, it's more about him becoming, I think, more like the guy, this guy who's becoming his mentor, maybe,
hmm
Yeah.
than it is, about him becoming a heroic rebel, maybe. So
True. Yeah.
it's pretty jaded stuff. This first season was a lot like that too.
Yeah.
It didn't give you any illusions to hold on to.
Right.
His mother was like the most admirable character in the whole thing, probably. And
Yeah, pretty much.
some of the just mine workers and stuff. Some of the regular workers were
hmm
admirable people, but in order to be a player, it's like. But it's funny. His mother did more after her death with her speech
Yeah, exactly. When
than
they broadcast her
possibly,
speech everywhere. Yeah.
yeah, than possibly a lot of the people that are planning and scheming behind the scenes have done. But anyway,
Right.
anyway, it looks good. It
Yeah,
looks
I think
like
so.
It
it looks
does.
like a movie, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And I
That
and I
was one thing.
mhm.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just because I'm just really intrigued by the fact that they're dropping 3 episodes at a time. I think, it's basically getting a mini, like you said, a mini movie every week.
That also might be to its advantage because the first one, it feels like watching it all together, now that we have it all back to back,
hmm
is much more intense and accessible. When we had to wait a week in between, sometimes the beginning episodes seemed to drag a little bit.
Right.
But when you're
Yeah,
going
yeah,
straight on through, it was
yeah. When you
really,
have the option to
It has
keep
better
moving on,
pacing.
it's the
Yeah.
yeah,
stakes. You don't sit there anxious about, is this episode going to wow me any second
hmm
yeah,
now before it runs out of time? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
When you let it, you can let it unfold at its own pace. But um, I'm somebody that prefers weekly things because I want something to look forward to. And I binge it, it's over, and it's like, oh well,
yeah.
there that goes. But I really wonder if they're going to release this in theaters when it comes out. Like the week before or the week of, if they're going to do any showings like they've done in the past, because I would love to go see it in a theater, the first three or the
Well,
first
what
two or
about
whatever they do.
when
hmm
they do the Revenge of the Sith anniversary? You think they might have anything connected to it then?
Well,
I
that's
don't know.
in May.
That's in
When is
May.
this
So it's
coming out? This is coming
already.
out
Oh,
in
is it
April, isn't
May?
it?
This is coming
I
out
thought it was.
before.
I thought it was mid-April, which was weird to me because the
Oh, well, maybe it
anniversary isn't
is.
until May.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I was
Maybe
gonna say because it wasn't released until May. That would be odd to release it
I
in
thought the
April.
poster said May, but hang on, let's
That's
find
I'm gonna
out.
look it up. Yeah. Star Wars third best film released in theaters.
April 25th, yeah.
Uh,
But that would be after this came out
It's
then.
it's number one with a bullet.
all right, let me see what I'm getting here. Yeah, I love that poster, the 20th anniversary poster.
Yeah, that guy is on a roll. The guy
Yeah.
he's done the other anniversary posters
Yeah,
in the
I actually
last few
bought like
years.
the full size of the Return of the Jedi and have it up on the wall. And framed it on the wall. That's a really good one.
I was trying to see. His name is. I used to know his name because I've got the lenticular posters for Empire
Hmm.
and Jedi and stuff. They put out limited runs.
Yeah, you're right. April
I,
25th. Interesting. Okay.
starting
Yeah.
April 20th. They must expect it to do pretty well.
Yeah, because
And maybe
they'll probably
April,
let it run for like a week or two.
maybe April is doesn't have competition. Probably right when
Mhm.
you get into the first week of May, you're going to
Yeah.
have
Yeah, you
huge
Starting
get
the
huge
summer
movies
traditional
stuff,
summer
dropping.
yeah.
blockbusters dropping.
Yeah,
Yeah. I know July is supposed to be the big year this year.
the big month.
Yeah, the big month. Yeah. So because I know it's going to be Jurassic Park is coming out. I forget what else. There's like two other big ones that are coming out. I think that Marvel movie, the one about the I cannot remember the name of the stupid movie.
Oh,
The one about
it's
the extra characters, the Black Widow's
yeah,
friends, those people.
yeah.
Yeah. That's coming out, and there's one other big one that's coming out in July. They're all supposed to be the big month, but yeah. But yeah, I definitely plan to go try and go see it. I saw Return of the Jedi when it was re-released, so a couple of years ago.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of owe Revenge of the Sith for. It's the only Star Wars movie I waited to go
Right.
see.
I remember
So,
that,
yeah. So I kind of owe it for that.
yeah.
Um, I was trying to find. Oh, it's Thunderbolts is what it's called.
Thunderbolts, okay.
Yeah, the Thunderbolts. It's
I
like
know it was
another.
Thundercats, Thunderbolts, something. Okay.
Yeah, Thunderbolt. Uh, yeah. So, and every time I see Sebastian Stan playing Winter Soldier, I'm like, damn it, this guy should have
Yeah,
been Luke.
he
You
should have
know?
been Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I agree.
But they would need better writing than he's gotten in the MCU. He looked like he was going to step up and be a major character after Civil War,
Right. And
and
it
then
just
they just
didn't
kind
happen.
of I guess he's done so much work. Probably his availability possibly limited some of
Yeah.
that, but the MCU.
Superman and Fantastic Four are two of the other ones coming out
Oh,
in
yeah,
July.
the
Oh,
Superman movie, yeah.
Superman's gonna be huge if it's good at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I think people are gonna be ready for a nice superhero again.
Yeah, I
There's
agree.
just so much negativity everywhere. No matter
Exactly.
yeah, it's like that'd be a breath of familiar fresh air again.
Yeah.
Especially if they come out and say, the truth, justice, and the American way and all that,
Oh,
America
yeah.
and everything. That would be
Mhm.
really nice,
That would be good. Nice breath of
Yeah.
fresh air.
Yeah. And give us some hope for America. But
Right.
anyway, yeah,
So,
Sebastian Stan, he's been doing a bunch of stuff. It's like I saw that movie, A Different Man,
mhm.
where he plays a guy with a facial deformity, and then he
Oh,
gets
yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen
surgery,
that.
and he looks like Sebastian Stan when he gets the surgery.
Mhm.
And then a guy with a facial deformity comes and takes his entire life away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like basic just by nature of being who he is, it's like
Mhm.
it was a weird movie, but I enjoyed it. But yeah, so Andor, that'll be
Yeah,
cool.
I think it's gonna look good. I think I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the enthusiasm back, and
Me too. Me too.
yeah,
I'm hoping a rewatch of Andor will do that.
yeah, and I also I saw Andy Serkis over the weekend, but he had such a long line. I wanted to ask him. I didn't make it to his panel. I wanted to ask him or see if anybody asked him.
Hmm.
if he's back for this or not. But I know
Oh, okay.
even if he is, he's probably not allowed to
Not
say.
gonna say
You know?
anything.
Yeah,
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 But I almost think they'll probably leave well enough alone.
I think
You know,
yeah,
so
just,
too.
probably
just
Yeah,
so.
I think so
yeah,
too.
better to have it be memorable, and that's the whole point of Rogue One. Is it's memorable, it's short, and it tells us the story of those characters, and they're over. You
Yeah,
know,
Yeah,
right,
there's none of this
right,
dragging it out with all this endless possibilities and endless
right.
sequels and endless comic
Exactly.
adaptations and stuff. Yeah, that's why I like that movie so much. I think is because it uses the backdrop of the Galactic Civil War, um, which is always talked about and everything, but we don't actually have that many movies
Hmm.
or stuff where we get to see it in action. And then it tells a complete story that you can fit in there, and you don't even if you don't like it, you don't even have to acknowledge it really. You know, you can
Yeah,
still, but it
yeah.
the way they were daring enough to show that the war had real consequences, and that it wasn't always, quips on the Death Star shooting stormtroopers
Exactly.
who can't hit the broadside of a barn.
Right. Exactly.
It's like, we did try some heroes out before you guys. They did okay until they
They
just
didn't
couldn't
make it.
anymore. Yeah, they got some quips in, but it didn't end quite the
I
same.
got some whips in.
I'm also
Uh,
looking forward to. He's not in this trailer, which I'm a little disappointed. But he may not come back until the movie. But Melchi, the
oh
guy
yeah,
who was in the prison, and
oh yeah,
Andor,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Cassian gave him the pistol, which is when you knew
Mhm,
Cassian had changed because he handed
mhm.
over the weapon to his friend, and he said people have to know what happened here, which is the most, but you always knew Melchi was willing to lay it down, because that's what he did in Rogue One.
Exactly.
But to see him in the background, like a facet of that character of a rebel,
Hmm.
and like they can't get away with this. We have to. There's always that thing in Star Wars of the signal, the plans, you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
exposing this stuff to the galaxy or whatever. There's
Right,
always some
right.
secret thing that has to come out. Like the twins, Luke, Leia. There's always
Yep.
something undercover that is protected that has to come out. Anyway, it's cool.
Yeah,
I'm
I
looking
think it'll
forward
look
to it.
good.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, we're definitely
excited
looking
for it.
forward to it.
Krennic.
We're gonna try to be doing weekly synopsis if our schedules support that, and we definitely still want to try and do an Andor wrap up. So hopefully in
Yeah,
the next couple of weeks we'll be able to get to that before the new season comes out. So, but anyway, thanks for watching
Yeah.
and liking and subscribing, following the channel, supporting the channel, and we will see you next time, guys. Thanks.
Thank you. Donka. Can you
Donka.
imagine if Tony Gilroy is given a minute to write for Krennic?
Oh wow.
oh.
Yeah.
I mean, just thinking about it, it's like Krennic is he's purposefully a limited character. I don't know how much imagination he actually has.